This video is to show you how to take apart and reassemble a 1911 A1. Number one, we're going to remove the grip screws. You're gonna need a flathead screwdriver. Okay, now that we have the grips removed, we're going to go ahead and take the slide off of the frame. This is how we're going to do that. We're going to depress this button right here, and we're going to rotate this. And it will release this little button and this little spring. Now all the tension is taken off of the slide and you can move it back and forth easily. You see this little notch right here? That's going to go to right there. We're going to push on that slide release and pull it out. Now the slide will slide off. Got the frame, slide, barrel. You can now take out the recoil spring. You got to take this out first. That rotates the opposite direction. You slide it, you turn it clockwise to get your recoil spring off. And you turn it the other direction to remove it from the slide. Now your barrel will slide out. For your sights, you'll have to press those out. And now you've removed the slide from the frame. Okay, next we're going to remove the firing pin and extractor. How you do that is you'll have to depress the firing pin and cant your punch down at the same time like that. Now this firing pin's under a lot of tension, so if you move this plate out of the way, it's going to launch out. So make sure you keep your finger there. You can hear it hit the back of my finger. So I slide that out, pull the firing pin out. The extractor just pushes out, like so. Push it from inside, slide, and it'll pull right out. Now your slide is completely stripped and ready for prep. Okay, next we're going to take apart, completely strip our frame. And the first thing that I like to do is remove all tension from the hammer. Tensions makes things a little bit more difficult when we're taking stuff apart. In order to take the tension off that, we got to remove this pin right here on the bottom, and then this back plate's going to slide out. Get my punch, my hammer, take this pin out. Let's slide this out, and that little guy right there is supposed to be captured under there. On this particular gun, for some reason, it's not. Somebody's probably been messing with it, and that little pin right there is supposed to be in that little notch right there that holds that down. So we'll fix that when we're putting it back together. Okay, so the next step that we're going to do is remove the mag release, and you do that on this particular gun with a small flathead. Put our flathead in right here and press on the mag release just a little bit to where you can rotate that counterclockwise. You'll feel a sweet spot. You don't have to push it all the way in. It's close, but not all the way in. You'll rotate it and it'll fall right out, just like that. Okay, the next step we're going to do is remove our safety. So we're going to rotate our hammer back which there's no tension on it because we took everything off, while we're wiggling and rotating, pulling outward with the safety. There we go, and it pops out just like that, which is also going to remove your grip safety. Next step, we're going to remove this and put that in a bag, and then we're going to remove our hammer. Move our claw spring like so. Hammer pin, and it's a little bit bigger than our Sear pin. Our Sear pin's coming next. This little guy. They look identical, one's just smaller than the other one. Okay? Sear pin goes here, hammer pin goes here. On the left hand side of the firearm. Hammer will pull out. Sear, you can see how it goes in. See the Sear disconnector right there. That's all going to come out when you turn the gun upside down. That's your Sear and disconnect. Now your trigger will slide out from the back. Now your frame is completely stripped and ready for prep. All right, now we're going to do the reassembly of the 1911 A1 slide. It's pretty simple. All right, so the first thing you're going to do, this little door, it only goes on one way. Short side, short side. Slide in just like that. But before you put that on, you have to put your ejector in. It slides in like that. You gotta put your firing pin in, depress it, and the spring tension is gonna hold that firing pin in like that. So it's kind of you need three-hand operation. Hold that down like so. Get your little door started. So this has to be perfectly lined up. And if it's not perfectly lined up right here, then you won't be able to slide this on. So you can see that this firing pin is now captured in there. Press it. Make sure it comes out. Okay, now your slide is pretty much assembled, and we're gonna have to go to the frame part next. Finish the slide up, we'll have to put it on the frame. The first thing that we're gonna do, we're now gonna put the frame together. And the first part that I always do is put my trigger in. Drop my trigger in. It's got to go down this little channel right here. See that little channel in the frame? It's going to have to go in there, but it's got to be facing like this. See this back part? How it's sloped right here? That's how it's got to go in. If you Cerakote it, you want to make sure that it's not going to catch at all and it can move freely like that. The next step would be our mag release. This is going to hold your trigger in. Just going to put it in like so. Make sure she can move freely like that. And we're going to grab our flathead screwdriver, small one that we use to take that off. Remember, there's a sweet spot on here. You don't have to push it all the way down, but you're going to push this side down while rotating this. There it is. There she is. so for the next step, we're going to put our sear in. Got a half moon shape like this, and you'll see this right here, right? The flat side, little triangle. This fits in just like this, and it has to go like that. Okay, you can't put it on like this from this side. Doesn't work. Got to go on just like that. This is going to go up into the frame, slide in like this orientation, like this, sorry, like this, into this channel right here above the trigger. I don't know if you can see that or not, where my pick is. It's that little hole right there. I know you can see that. So there's a trick to it. The easiest way to do it is to put a mag in the gun. This is going to keep that sear from falling into the mag well. So you can actually put a mag in, set this down on here, and slide it into place like so, just like that. Now you're going to look down, grab your small pick, punch, whatever you want to use, stick it in here, and line everything up. Give it a good shake, make sure nothing you didn't miss the hole on anything. Lay it down flat, pull your punch out, make sure that hole's still lined up good, and grab your small pin that has a lip. You got two of these. You got one that is big with a lip, and one that's small. I'm gonna use a small one. I'll go in right there, and you might need to help it a little bit with alignment by sticking a punch in the opposite side. Give it a little wiggle room. Now my pin's in. Give it a shake. Everything looks to be lined up and perfect. That should set flush. If you have a gunsmith hammer, use the nylon side. Give it a little tap, make sure she's in there. She's good to go. Sear's installed. Alright, next step is the hammer and the hammer pin. This is the bigger pin that has the lip. You should have. The hammer pin is going to go right here. So we're going to put our hammer in, line up that hole like so, put this pin in. Alright, again, a little tap, make sure she's flush, good to go. Alright, you want that tail to kick out a little bit. I want it getting in the way on the next step. Here we go. Okay, so the next step, we're going to install the safety, the grip safety, this little guy, in this order. First thing we're going to do is put this in. It just slides right in here. Make sure it's poking out right here and moving freely. I'm going to put our hammer strut in the middle of the grip safety after we install this. Install this like so. I want to show you this. When you're installing this spring, if any part of this goes behind this, the gun's not going to work properly. So you got to put this in like this, and it's got to stay in front of the sear like that. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. Grab a flashlight, show you what I'm talking about. But you want it to stay like that, and we're going to pull this tail down, hammer strut, and install our grip safety with the hammer strut going in the middle of the grip safety, like so. See that? Now we're going to install this guy. Okay. And that's what it's supposed to do, guys. Now we'll go ahead and seat this pin right here. Make sure everything looks good, still operates good. All right. And it is pretty much put together. The hard part's done. All right, so now I'm going to put slide on the frame, and this is how we're going to do it from Chicago. We put our barrel in the slide, put our spring guide in like that. I'll slide it on the frame like so, all the way to, what are we hitting on here? There we go. I'm gonna bring it on back. In that hole right there, you'll need to line it up. You'll see it, that little loop in the barrel. And it's gonna go this way. We'll slide our slide all the way back. Make sure barrel's going up and in there. Barrel's got to go up in here, so the slide is slide back. You're gonna bring it all the way back to that little notch right there. Then we're gonna push down and up at the same time. Now the slide is attached to the gun, golden. Now we need to put this on and do this in the exact opposite way that we did it earlier. Rotate it the opposite direction. Grab our cap, slide it down and in, rotate this back over. Okay, now we're going to put our grip screws and grips on. Find the proper screwdriver. Hey guys, you don't want to cross thread these, okay? So really pay attention to what you're doing here, because the studs can be fun to change out. And we'll do a video on that at a later time. It's kind of tricky, can be. So yeah, anyway, you install these 4 screws. It's pretty self-explanatory on that one. Again, make sure you don't cross thread them. Some people put some Loctite on these. These are going on pretty snug, feel good. So I don't think I really need to do that on this particular gun. If they went in super loose, then maybe. But good to go, man. All right, that's our Springfield Armory A1 disassembly reassembly video. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Appreciate y'all watching. Have a good day.